Good afternoon. Lovely to see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And welcome to Manager's Most Common Mistakes Masterclass. So before we start, please let me know, can you hear me and see my slides? So go ahead in the chat box, just let me know, can you hear me and see my slides? And please also feel comfortable to put your cameras on. Hi, Sue, nice to see you. I recognize quite a few names here as well. Mantla says, yes, fantastic. So I want to make sure you know where the chat box is. You can hear me clearly and see my slides. Fantastic. Thank you, Rihanna and Anya. Wonderful. Mantla, Sue, fantastic. Shamima, fantastic. Thank you so much. So you're welcome to put your cameras on. It's always, always lovely speaking to faces and not speaking to myself. Although we do that quite often as entrepreneurs, don't we? So excited that you are here today. Please feel free to be comfortable, put your cameras on. I am going to dive in. It's 12 o'clock on the dot. I really, really, really love to be punctual. So let me know in the chat box, where are you dialing in from? I would love to hear from you. Where are you dialing in from? And also, what industry are you in? So please go ahead and let me know where you're dialing in from and what industry are you in. Welcome to everyone. We had 48 people register for this morning, and we got 14 of you here. Hello, Vaughan. Nice to see you. Yay. Always great having a camera on so I can talk to you. Thanks, Vaughan. All right, Sue's Table View in real estate with a fabulous real estate company that I do know. Sharon in life insurance in Sandton. Thank you, Sharon. Senior teacher, Lady Smith, KZN. Fantastic. I've worked with lots of teachers as well. My office, fantastic, Shamima. How many people do you have with your office with you today? Are you dialing in from your office, or do you have some people sitting there with you? Sam Construction, excellent. Yep, can see you and the rest of the team. Fantastic. Hi, Nelly. Wonderful. Johannesburg real estate practitioner. Hi, Rihanna. Which company are you with? Hetty Vereniging Training Academy. Excellent. Love that. Mantla in construction. Welcome. Garth from KZN, educated George Campbell's School of Technology. I teach maths. My lap camera does not work with Zoom for some reason. No problem. Thank you, Garth. Real estate, KZN. Hello. We're back full time to the office in Joburg. All right. How do you feel about that? I know some people love the office, some people not so much. All right, with Bowring Family Business. Excellent. I work with a lot of property practitioners, Rihanna, so I always love to know who everybody's working with. And in fact, every single industry here, I have worked with them. There we go, butchery, except a butchery. That one's new for me. So welcome to everyone. I am going to dive straight in. I have hit the record button. I'm just going to say and let you know as well, I have my beautiful rescue dog. I do work from a home office. I have my lovely rescue dog that sits in my office with me. Just in case she starts barking, I'll just need to open the door and pop her out. And I just want to be clear before we start. So welcome to everyone. Thank you for giving yourself the gift of time in spending the next 90 minutes with me. I am going to ask you, close your phones, just shut it down. Give yourself this gift to learn something new. And at the same time, if you can, close those email browsers. Something has excited you to sign up for today. And even if you're committed to giving me 100%, you're only going to hear 40% of what I say. Quite scary. So give yourself that gift of time. Shut down your phone. I will try and do it, like share as much information. I always say 90 minutes just for time blocking. But ideally, I will try and answer everything and share as much as I can in 75 minutes. I do like to leave time at the end for a Q&A. So welcome to Manager's Most Common Mistakes Masterclass. And I appreciate you being here with me on today's journey. So how many of you feel like you live the perfect balanced life, that you have that lovely work-life balance, that while you are at work, you can achieve all those goals? So when you get home, you have quality time with your family, your friends, even yourself. Days off, you can be on the golf course or pamper days at the spa. What about long, lazy lunches on a wine farm on a beautiful summer's day? Or dinner dates with your partner? I mean, doesn't this just sound like the perfect life? The trip to the Maldives? Or is this just a dream? Well, so often I coach on average about 100 people on different programs per week. So many people say to me, Nikki, all we need is more work-life balance. How many of you feel the same? Now, self-disclosure. I have not yet mastered balance, but the tools that I share and train has definitely brought a lot more balance into my life, as well as when I feel like I'm struggling a bit, helps me get back on track. Because can balance be mastered? Well, think about somebody walking across a tightrope between two high-rise buildings. When is balance the most important? Beginning, middle, or the end? Let me know in the chat box. When is balance the most important? Beginning, middle, or the end? All right, all of it from the beginning, 100%, every step of the way. Balance is not something we can master. It's something we need to consistently be working on. So today, this is for you. If you would love to learn simplified tools that could give you more work, life, and balance. B, you don't know how to recruit the perfect team member, and that's often what compromises that work-life balance. Or is it C, you're managing your team, but not necessarily leading your team? Or D, you delegate, but don't always get the desired results? Or E, you really struggle with effective communication of how to speak to each team member to get the desired result? Let me know in the chat box which one resonates the most for you. A, you would love more work-life balance. B, understand how to recruit the perfect team members to give you that work-life balance. C, you would love to learn how to lead your team and not just manage your team, irrespective of their personalities. D, learn how to delegate to get your desired result. Or E, learn how to speak confidently to each team member with effective communication. Let me know in the chat box, A, B, C, D, or E. So Sue says B and C, all of the above. Anya says D for delegation, all of the above. Claire, Tennille, hi Tennille, C, D, and E. Katendi, hello. C, personalities, all of the above. C and D, fabulous. Because these are a couple of the simplified tools that we are going to touch on today. And yet there are so many more. So let me ask you, are you currently in a leadership position? So I'd love to know in the chat box, yes or no. And secondly, did you study or were you internally promoted? If you're internally promoted, you can just say IP for internally promoted. So are you currently in a position, yes or no? And studied, S, or internally promoted? All right, so we have yes, internal, yes, yes, studied and owner. All right, business owner, yes, internally promoted, internally promoted. All right. So one thing, I'm head of subject and internally promoted. Yes, IP, IP. The one thing that I pick up often training and coaching in South Africa is a lot of people in South Africa have been internally promoted. And I want to say it's one of our blessings in South Africa that we often identify as shining star. We do a lot of internal promotion. And sometimes we get internally promoted, or we just start our own business and we land up in a leadership role. Yet, internationally, specifically in America, they will not put you in a leadership role unless you have a degree. Now, not that you can always learn how to get into leadership, definitely comes through lived experience. However, it is important for us also to learn these simplified tools, because I want to share some more information with you as well. So lots of externally, yes, externally promoted, done external leadership courses as well. Fantastic, guys, because we need to consistently keep learning, because it's not your fault. I mean, firstly, if you've been internally promoted, somebody identified the shining star aspect in you, and well done. You deserve your position. But often we feel like we're putting out fires, and it's not your fault that this is what happens when we step into a leadership role. Putting out fires, often the fires we lit. And it's not your fault that you haven't always been taught the simplified tools of effective communication or delegation, of handling confrontation. It's also not your fault that you're just given a team to lead. Sometimes you had no say in the recruitment process. And what we don't always realize is all these people have different personalities, and we land up managing them, not understanding their personalities, therefore not leading our team. And it's not your fault that these simplified tools are not given to you when you've been internally promoted, and you had to go out there and learn them. And yet we embrace the growth, we embrace the promotions, and don't always realize what comes with that. So it's not your fault that you haven't learned the effective communication. I mean, the difference between a manager and a leader is 2 words: effective communication. But I want to say this is going to end in the next 90 minutes. And I want to wave my magic wand and go whoosh, 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 and teach you some simplified tools that can help you today. Because I get this. I started working in the hospitality environment at the young age of 15. And this was during school, public holidays and school holidays. But as soon as I turned 18, the same restaurant offered me an assistant management role, all through internal growth. I learned how to cook every single dish. I learned how to open and close the restaurant, place orders. So when they gave me the opportunity at the age of 18, I was like, well, I'm not going to go study. I say yes. And that's when I started in my life saying yes to many opportunities and any opportunity, and then learning how. I then, in a year's time, decided to go off traveling with, as lots of my friends did. And I landed up in the beautiful island of the Caribbean, working on yachts for 3 years, before wanting to become land-based and started running a restaurant. This restaurant, a small little coffee shop that I ran called Capriccio de Mare, was a small little restaurant. I was 22 years old, and the owner of this restaurant, a dictatorial, aggressive leader. I mean, his tantrums were Oscar worthy. When I'd worked for him for 3 months, I was the longest manager that had stayed, and I lasted 3.5 years. And that was the leadership style I adapted in my early 20s. However, after 3.5 years, I was ready for a new challenge. There was a beautiful restaurant across the bay called Kita's Gazebo, and I applied for the role of general manager there. I got it and spent 4.5 years working in this restaurant. Double the size, double the busyness, a restaurant that turned into a beach bar nightclub. This owner, the best reggae singer, chilled out, so incredible, wanting to be liked. And then I learned something completely different in my leadership style, and that was my 30s. I decided then to return back to South Africa with my 11-month-old son, Caribbean souvenir on my hip. And my first interview I went with was with the Woolworths coffee shops. Starting as a coffee shop manager back in 2005, when I started, we only had 32 restaurants, and I had 14 years that I worked with the Woolworths coffee shops, run by a company called Tribeca. When I left after 14 years, we had 150 restaurants. Staff complement, when I started, 452. When I left, 2,500. So we grew very fast. At that, when I started with the business, there was no training academy in place, but within 6 months, I started attending as many courses as I could. I started doing some internal growth, and I really wanted to learn simplified tools because we were growing so fast. I constantly said yes to the new title, yes to the promotion, yes to the new challenge, and I grew to be exhausted. And like that hamster wheel where we just feel like we're going around and around and around, I went to my director, who was incredible and still is, and said to him, I need to learn more simplified tools. He allowed me to attend any course that I chose to go on, as long as I brought it back, applied it, put it into action, wrote training manuals, and trained the team. Very blessed. I got to spend 14 years doing this. But this is what really popped up for me, the 3 C's of life. We ourselves need to make a choice, take a chance, and make the change. Because you've got to make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. Had I not gone to him and said, please invest in me, help me, or I'll pay half, just help me become better, nothing would have changed. I knew the dictatorial style, I knew the wanting to be liked style, and I needed to balance it out to learn the respect style of being a leader. And that's where I learned these incredible simplified tools. During this time, I got to write 5 of our training manuals. I was then National Customer Service Head for the balance 10 years out of the 14. I oversaw a team of 8 regional managers. We then had over 300 managers when I left and 2,500 staff. I was also head of leadership, traveling around the country doing leadership training as well as recruitment. An incredible job. But after 29 years in hospitality, it was time for a change. And that quote predominantly came up, choices, chances, changes. So I thought, what should I do next? I've always been very passionate about real estate. And when I joined the real estate fraternity as a team leader, I was leading a team of 15 agents, which I grew to 50 agents. And what I learned here was the language of leadership was universal. Whether I was speaking to hospitality or speaking to real estate, we all are speaking to people. And that was such a brilliant journey. I did training and recruitment for real estate 16 months in until COVID struck and our entire leadership team got retrenched. And somebody that's comfortable saying, yes, what's next? That's when I started my training company, taking everything I'd learned from my 29 years hospitality, my 16 months in real estate, combining it. And that's when I launched the Winning Attitude Skills Training. I'm still consistently learning. I'm consistently growing. And with 32 years expertise in leadership, I try and listen to 2 books per month, always looking at how can I push myself to the next level. So I'm excited to be here with you today. This is my gorgeous blended family. I came back from overseas with my Caribbean souvenir, who's on the bottom left-hand side. I met the single dad, Glenn, and as a beautiful family, we now have a gorgeous blended family with my business of 5 years and everyone supporting each other in our different levels of business as well. So thank you again for being here. I have since also embarked on a speaking journey, again, saying yes. I've become a keynote speaker trainer, and a TEDx Cape Town speaker coach, consistently looking at how can I evolve. And that's when I learned the difference between a manager and a leader is effective communication. Just the skills that I've learned in the last 5 years of keynote speaking and public speaking has helped my leadership journey transform. And I'd love to share some of those tools with you. So welcome to Managers' Most Common Mistakes Masterclass. I would love to, as a gift at the end of today's session, send you all a little gift in an email, which is going to be a breakdown of today's notes. But I'm going to ask you for 2 things. 1, please feel comfortable in the chat box just to go ahead and drop your email address. I see we had quite a lot of people sign up for today. I just want to make sure as soon as our session has finished, I can tag you and send you that gift. I am back to back today until 8 o'clock this evening. So just to make it quicker and easier, I can share that with my tech team and they can wish off that email to you as a thank you. If you're uncomfortable putting it in the chat box to all, you're welcome to share it directly to me in the chat box that I can send you that gift. So please go ahead. And otherwise, some names, I do see some names I know, super excited. But I might have found I have 2 or 3 Sharons that have signed up for today, or Mantlas or Jabus, and I just want to make sure that you get the gift yourself. Second requirement is you stay till the very end. Zoom has a lovely feature, gives me attendance register. So as long as you stay to the end, I will pop that email off to you. Please also feel free if you have any questions. I will be doing a live Q&A at the end of today's session. So let's dive straight in. Now, there's an elephant in this room. I would love to share as much information with you. As I said, it's a 90-minute workshop. I'd love to share as much information with you that I can, but I cannot share 32 years leadership expertise, my speaking expertise with you in 90 minutes. So only when the time is right and with permission, I am going to ask you if I can share more information with you about my PLT 12, which is my Powerful Leadership Transformation 12 module course, but only when the time's right with your permission. Again, some of you I recognize, some of you are new to the group, so welcome. If you don't know who I am, please go ahead, type in The Winning Attitude or Nikki Abraham on Google and go and see what other people have said about me. I have 131 reviews. Most of them, I think 2 or 4 star, the rest are 5 star. Go and see what other people's experience is that has worked with me. Otherwise, on Facebook, 25 reviews. These are people that have taken the tools I've shared with them. They've put it into application and it's changed their lives. So I always love to say, go and see what they say, because that's what speaks volumes. So let me know in the chat box, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you in? So just let me see. All right. Anya said yes. Big yes. Love that. Yes. Thank you. Gosh, super ready, Razia. Fabulous. I just want to make sure you're listening to me. Those phones are closed. You're not thinking you can play a game of Candy Crush while you're here. Fabulous. Excellent. Thank you so much. So let's dive in. What is the difference between a manager and a leader? Now, often, a lot of you shared about being internally promoted. And as soon as we get internally promoted, we get that lovely title that says manager. And yet we feel with that lovely title should come respect and more money, and things are just going to get easier, and everyone's going to love us. Well, that's the challenge. The difference between a manager and a leader, besides for effective communication, is often a manager can stand in front of a group of people, give them a direct instruction, but when they walk away and nothing's changed, you're simply just taking a walk. A leader has the ability to influence their team to achieve a common goal. And that is the difference between the two. A leader has the ability to influence their team to achieve a common goal. When I worked in that lovely restaurant with that very kind, sweet owner, I remember saying to him, I don't know. I mean, this is just so hard. Running a restaurant is so easy, but the staff, and that's what he said to me, running a business is easy. Having the right people in the right place is the challenge. Always making sure you communicate effectively, that your team wants to work with you. And that for me was quite profound. So this is the importance of the simplified skills, because a lot of us get promoted with very little or no training. I mean, my first decade as a leader was all internal growth, zero training, and lots of mistakes. And what we don't know, it ends up costing us time, energy, trust, and sometimes good people when they don't want to work with you. And this is what I want to share with you today. These challenges are real, but they are not permanent. And that's the exciting part of training, because it all starts here. Firstly, with your mindset. I know quite a few of your names in this room, and I know quite a lot of you that I do know has a lot of leadership expertise. You run businesses, you run groups of people, you train, you lead teams, and you've possibly been doing this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but you still chose to be here. It's all about having the growth mindset. I shared with you, I listen to 2 books per month. Sometimes I'll listen to an entire book, be it 5 hours, 8 hours, or 12 hours, and only learn one thing. But learning one thing is going to help me in my business and with my growth. And that is all about, you've been here today. You might be here going, brilliant. I knew that, I knew that, I knew that. But if you have one aha, one takeaway, it's your time well spent. Because it's all about your mindset, having that growth mindset, thinking differently, that what if you can learn one thing that's easier, better, and making you stronger? Your mindset is an inside to an outside experience. The way you feel on the inside is how you're going to experience life on the outside. And if you want your team to have a growth mindset, it starts with you. So well done. And then it comes into, well, let's start focusing on some of our biggest mistakes. So it's acknowledging that even with 10, 20, 30 years expertise, I may still make mistakes. I'm very comfortable and confident saying with 32 years expertise as a leader, with 5 years expertise in public speaking in my own business, I still make mistakes. But none of us like to make mistakes. But those are our best lessons. Every problem is an opportunity. Every challenge is for us to learn something new. So being with the growth mindset is saying, well, maybe it's not all a mistake, but what if I could do it better? So let's start with managers' most common mistake, number 1, poor hiring decisions. Now, you may be sitting here today going, but I'm not responsible for recruitment. So let me know in the chat box, are you responsible for recruitment? Are you responsible for recruitment? Yes or no? All right. Sue says yes, part of the team. Yes. Okay. Yes. I love yeses coming through, because so often what happens is you're not responsible for recruitment. You just get handed a group of people that you now have to lead. So the fact that you're saying yes, excellent. If you're not, please, please, please put your hand up, Garth, and go to your HR or who is responsible for recruitment and say, I would like to be part of the recruitment process. Very important. You don't have to be responsible for the entire process, but you want to be part of that decision making, because you have to work with the people that are hired. And it's important for us to understand who we want, the position, and the position requires which personality, and how are they going to complement our team and us that's leading them as well. And then my next question is, do you know how to follow a recruitment process? If your answer is yes, put a 1. If your answer is not sure, put a 2. Do you know how to follow a recruitment process? All right, thank you. Not sure. Lots of not sures coming through. Now, some of you saying yes, some of you are saying not sure. Thank you for that. Because often, and I can honestly say, during the time that I grew into a management position, I did all our recruitment. And I kept thinking I'm hiring the best people. You know why? They were fun, they were bubbly, they were positive, they were exciting, and they were just like me. I was hiring the mirror image because we like people that are just like us. But just like us, people are not always the best person for the job. The important part is identifying, firstly, what is the position? What's the best personality for that position? And then how do we word our advertisements to attract those positions so that we're bringing in the right person for the right role? So I actually have a course on recruiting, and it's all about coming back here, because so often I speak about this because so often we're going, I just can't get the right people, or I can't read the right team. This is why recruiting is so important to be part of the process. It starts with, where are we sourcing applicants from? Because if we're looking for talent to join our business, we need to find the right talent. But often what happens is we'll place an ad, and whether it's Facebook or the newspaper or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it may be, you might have 5 applications. And out of the 5, none of them are great. So what do? We choose the best of the 5, but not really the right person. The important part here is having a minimum standard and saying, this is the minimum standard I'm going to start with. And if I hire 5 people, or interview 5 people here that are below minimum standard, often what happens is we hire the best, spend 6 months training them just to reach our minimum standard. For them, they've had 100% growth. For us, we just started. So this is the importance of finding talent, finding out where talent is looking. Because if you're looking for talent, talent may also be looking for the best company. So how do we go about sourcing applications? Then identifying the positions, and how do we word our advertisements to attract the right personality for the right role? Then how do we go about screening CVs, looking for any dodgy things, red flags, what to look for on the CV, how to read the CV to find out that that's the person you want. Again, not choosing a square peg and sticking them in a round hole. So I actually share lots of CVs with you, what to look for, that I can screen a CV in 60 seconds to say yay or nay for my pile. Then we go into the pre-interview, and this alone is a game changer into saving time when it comes to recruitment. Because we all know we hire fast because it takes time. And often we hire fast, fire slow. We're sitting with the wrong person in the wrong place. The truth is, we actually need to hire slow. And if somebody's not working out, get rid of them fast. But before we do that, we do the training process and. However, the pre-interview is going to help us there. To the interview, and I will share with you in this course over 150 questions you can use. Not that you're going to ask them all, but you can pull questions at what you want to ask to the right candidate. To how do we close the interview, and most importantly, the reference checks. So this for me is just the basics of following a recruitment process. It's actually a 6-hour, fully value-packed course focusing specifically on recruiting talent, because that's often what happens. We expect to be the best leaders, but we don't have the right people to lead. And the problem with that is you may have inherited a group of people, or somebody else has just given you a team, or you've stepped into a new role and now you've got a team that you're not comfortable with leading, and we just do nothing about it. So what is the cost of having the wrong person in the wrong role? Just use an example. 16 hours per month of fixing somebody with poor performance and just putting a 20,000 Rand average salary. Just imagine if you are paying someone 20,000 Rand a month and spending 16 hours a month fixing their mistakes, and put that as an average year, that's almost 50,000 Rand in wasted time. Your time, loss in time, turnover, errors, and that time you could be focusing on somebody that would be excellent for the role. Ask yourself, what is the cost of leading without clarity and confidence? How much time are you wasting on somebody that's not able to do what they need to do? So loss of productivity, loss of profitability. So how often do we just stick with somebody because they just average? And that's because we rushed the recruitment process. Now, it's not just your time. It's your energy. It is your team's morale when you're going, my gosh, how long do we have to work with this person for? And most importantly, it's also about staying in love with the position that you work so hard to achieve and not be feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with this particular person. Most of us in leadership, when we want work-life balance, it's all about having the right person in the right place at the right time. Have a winning team, you'll have a winning company. So how would you be able to improve your leadership skills? Having the right team, right? So important. Garth, your question there of one recruitment process is not the same for each person. The question shift. It depends who you're interviewing. You want to find out their behavior, their skill set, their knowledge. But your questions would shift depending on their personalities and the position needed. The process would be the same. Your questions would shift. So, second of managers' most common mistakes. I see my slides are not changing and now I'm clicking and they're going to go boom, 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 boom. Give me a second. All right. Nope, not changing. The second of managers' most common mistakes is the, see, there we go. All of them going. I was going to say work-life balance. No, leading your team. Apologies. Leading your team irrespective of their personalities. Now, often I spoke about managing your team and not leading your team. How many of us have somebody that we work with and we're like, oh my gosh, I just want to pull out my hair. And then there's other people that are going, why can't you be more like Shamima or Nelly or Vaughan? Why do I have to work with people like that? Well, that's where it comes to working with different personalities. And this is the most important thing to understand. All of us in this room have different personalities. And I like to use the DISC profile. All of us fall into all four quadrants, but most of us fall predominantly into one or two. Yet we'll have a little bit of the other two. Now, it's not to compartmentalize your personality, but it's to realize your strengths, your natural personality, and which way do you, what is your style? So we have people that are dominant and easygoing, formal and informal. Now, the important part here is also recognizing that certain personalities fit better in certain roles. So if I look at the DISC profile, this is a session, it's already just this session is a 2-hour training session, because by the end of the session, number one, you're going to understand the DISC. Number two, you're going to be able to do the DISC for yourself, for your team, for your colleagues, and understand about having the right personality in the right role. So somebody that's very dominant, formal, that's the top left-hand side, they fall under the D of the DISC, which you may not have done DISC, you might have heard colors or birds. There are about 15 different personality profiling types out there. I use the DISC, but somebody that's very top left-hand corner is a red personality, otherwise known as direct. A direct personality is very fast and aggressive. They love a challenge. They are task-driven, bottom-line people. They're fast and aggressive. They want to get things done. And if you run a competition in your business, they will win. Often, they can irritate others because they come across quite aggressively. Then we have the top dominant and the right-hand side, I for informal personality, otherwise known as influential or the yellow personality. They're very confident, driven by positivity, very motivational. They love being the life of the party or the life of the office. Big, bubbly personalities. In fact, when they're happy, the entire office is happy. When they're not, oh, you'll know about it. They have a serious case of FOMO. So even if there are people going outside for a smoke break and they don't smoke, they will go as well in case they miss out. Because they're quick and they like to get things done, they also get bored quite easily. Therefore, often jump from task too fast. They are somebody that wants to be seen, wants to be heard. They love airtime and love to entertain. Then we have the bottom right-hand corner. Informal, easygoing, S for steady, otherwise green personalities. They are peacemakers or peacekeepers. They love to be liked. So they will go out of their way and help everybody in your business, helping them achieve their goals, their roles, which may compromise them getting their job done. They're excellent listeners. They love people, but they will listen to everyone chatting and don't always achieve their goals, specifically because they're helping others. Then we have the bottom left-hand side, formal, easygoing, which is C for compliant, your very analytical personalities. Compliant personalities like all the facts, all the detail. They'll ask lots of questions because they don't like getting things wrong. So very much detail orientated. Just let me know in the chat box which one resonated the most for you. Which one resonated the most for you? D for direct, I for influential, S for steady, or C for compliant. All right, so Garth says CS. I am yellow, influential. All right, Angie, Katendi, influential. D and I, Paula, direct, Sue. Yep, C and S, D's. All right, D and S. So often we find you can be next to each other like a DI or a DC. Very rarely a D, like diagonal, but not noted. It could definitely be there. So just understanding this alone makes a massive difference in your communication, how you can communicate. A D to a D can go, Susan, sweep the floor, and she'll do it. However, a D to an I, I'll go, Katendi, go sweep the floor, and Katendi go, that. Did you not learn your manners? Don't you want to know, please, or thank you? And I'll go to a steady, go and sweep the floor, Shamina, and she'll go sweep the floor, and she may have a tear running down her face because of my harshness. And I'll then say, Garth, go sweep the floor. And he'll go, sure, which floor do you want me to sweep? Do you want me to sweep from the front to the back or the left to the right? Must I use the red broom or the green broom? Sound familiar? The important part is understanding your team's personalities. And then how do we communicate to their personality to get your desired result? If you've worked with me on any course before, Vaughn's done a couple of courses with me, Katendi as well, you will know the DISC profile is in every single one of my courses. Specifically on leadership is how to lead a team. Recruiting talent, how to identify the personalities, the right personality for the role, and then how to write your wording for advertisements to attract their personality, and then what to listen for in that interview. To sales, to dealing with clients, to customer service as well. So if I look at this picture, they're all at the same soccer game or rugby game. They're all seeing the exact same results, but from what they are wearing, I can tell you my opinion of their personalities, simply from their body language, facial expression, and what clothes they're wearing. That is what you'll learn to do with the DISC profile. From the minute you meet someone, you can go, that's their personality, and you can shift your communication accordingly. I can also do it on the phone from that first hello to the first time, even for those of you in real estate, driving past a house, I can tell you their personality, looking at their house from the outside. It is an absolute game changer. So let's focus back to leadership. How would you be able to improve your leadership skills once you understand each of your team members, their personality, so you can best communicate to them to get better results? What difference would that make? Right? What difference would that make? Let's go to managers' most common mistakes. Number 3, work-life balance. Do you see? I mean, I've got 12 most common mistakes that I share, and I can't share them all today because of time. But do you see what we've covered already? Recruiting the right person, the right place, having the right team, the importance. And then 2, how to lead them with their team and the communication to get that working. And once you have the right person in the right place at the right time and know how to communicate effectively, the difference it's going to make with your role in your business, giving you more work-life balance. So how many of you have heard the 80-20% principle? Now, this is also known as the Pareto principle. I personally love to use this principle in everything I do. Time mastery, communication mastery, and listening skills too. But let's just focus on time. What are your big rocks at work? What is your most important things to do? What I would encourage you to do is go pull out your job description. I like to call it a job responsibility agreement because it's your responsibilities for the job you do. And take a highlighter and then go ahead and highlight your 20%. What are your 20% that is only focused for you to do? The most important, what sets you apart to everyone else in your business? What sets your position apart? What were you hired for? What are those expertise? Your big rocks. Highlight those and focus on those first. So often we focus on the things we love or the things that are easy or the things that are quick and not necessarily the reason we were hired. You always start with your 20% and everything else comes after that. It's focusing on the 20% that matters and making sure you do that first thing in the morning. That way you will achieve your role. And the 80% you can do once you finish or simply delegate, because there's such a big difference between being busy and being productive. How often at the end of the day do you get home and go, I'm so tired. It was such a busy day. But what value did you add to your business today? Now, my previous director, Dale, that I used to work with in our coffee shops, if I ever phoned him and said to him, today was so busy, that was the question he used to ask me. What value did you add to my company today? That was so powerful that even now I've had my own company for over 5 years. I ask myself that every single day. What value did I add to my company today? And I make sure it's 1, 2, or 3, a success list. Because if I don't achieve those, I will not be earning money and I will not be able to keep the roof over my head. So what value are you adding to the company? Are you focusing on those big rocks? And this is the importance of being so clear on our personal and professional goals, being so clear on our focus that we're working on, making sure that we are not just doing everything, this long, tedious to-do list. And how many of us have these long, tedious to-do lists? The problem with the long, tedious to-do list, it consists of everything we need to do, which is our 100%, not just the 20%. And because it's on the list, we feel like we have to do it. So it takes us off track. And that's because we want to tick it off, which is a complete time waster. And then how often do we come to this long list and we go, oh, it's not there. Let me quickly write it down and tick it off, just so we can slap ourselves on the back. I have now, every evening, I write 3 things I need to achieve for the next day. 3 wins for the next day. Nothing else matters until those are done. If I've got coaching sessions or meetings or training, perfect. In between, focusing on my success list. 3 things every day. Your success lists are short. They are focusing on things that are going to keep you proactive, things that need doing, which is going to give you extraordinary results. And it's going to give you guidance to succeed. And that's the most important. Focusing on what's urgent, what's important. Focusing on the 20% so that you can have more work-life balance. Trust me, I've done the 18-hour days. I've hit the burnout. The way, since I've learned this and since I've structured my day, I do time blocking. I focus on money-making activities. I focus on my 20%, my goals, and then I focus on study time, free time, living time, just enjoying my life. And you know what? I still do so incredibly well with more time for myself, my friends, my family, and that massage that we all love. So this is the importance of understanding a success list, because this is something called time blocking. Before I freak you all out, let me know in the chat box, who here does time blocking? Who here does time blocking or understands what time blocking is? Sue says yes. Fabulous, Sue. No idea. Where's everyone else? Sometimes. Yes, but not all the important things. I try, but often get distracted. Sometimes, no. Okay, so the important part of understanding the 20% and focus, again, these tools are something that I've used now for the last 6 years in my life, and they have been transformational. Now, when it comes to time blocking, what I do is color code my calendar. And the way I do it is money-making activities. So depending as an entrepreneur, this is when I'm training, physically training, making money or coaching. That's one color. Then I'm just going to shift this so you can see. So my dark green is training, money-making activities. My light green, which is my 20%. My light green is also my 20%. It's working on my business. When I'm focusing there, running a masterclass, when I'm having client meetings before they've signed, working with me, anything working on my business is a 20%, helping me to achieve those goals. So everything else doesn't matter until that's been done. Then I have my 80%, which is where you see the blue. That's my 411. Blue is 411. That is focusing on my 80%, things that I can do, but I can't do it until my money making or my goals are met. Then I go into the blue. My orange is personal time, be it going to play squash, doing vocal lessons, meeting with friends, days off, weekends away. Now I have more orange time than I've ever had before. I schedule time in to get my nails done, schedule time in for my massage, schedule time in to see my friends. Because I'm so focused that if I'm having extra time off, my work still needs to get done. My 20% still has to happen. And that's the beauty of time blocking. Now, some people get overwhelmed, but if this can give you more work-life balance, would it make your life easier? Taken from the book, The One Thing, which is also where we work on the 411 and time blocking. It asks the question, what's the one thing you can do such by doing it will make everything else easier or unnecessary? Earlier on, I asked you, please drop your email address. I can go and study it and look for it and find it. Some of you will, some of you won't. Depends if it's your full name or not. Some of you have logged in as a cell phone number, so I'm not going to find you. Some of you, there might be 2 or 3 Georges. So then I could take time. But you physically dropping your email address will take me 2 minutes at the end of the session to send it off to my tech lady that I can immediately jump onto my next session. What's the one thing I can do such by doing that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? I'm consistently focusing on time blocking, be it to give me more time to focus on my next project, my next phone call. Maybe I need a power nap. Who knows? I have a next call. So that is a very important question. What could you do if you had more time? How different could your life look like? Your business with more work-life balance. The fourth of managers' most common mistakes, effective communication. How often do we speak to our team and they go, they just not getting us? Why can't they understand it? Am I speaking a different language? Well, often we are. And we don't understand why somebody is not getting us. Learning to speak with effective communication can improve your day-to-day conversations. Learning which personalities you're speaking to. How do you need to speak to them to get your desired results? It helps you as an entrepreneur, and be it that you may be a manager working for a business or you work on commission, it can improve your sales. It will help you in your day-to-day relationships with your colleagues, with your customers, with your clients, with your family. Effective communication improves your confidence. It will help you in business. It will increase your sales, day-to-day negotiations, and most importantly, as a leader. Learning these simplified skills will change your life. I have now spent the last 5 years focusing on public speaking training and also Speak with Impact for sales, which helps to improve your communication. But I have brought this all into my leadership course as well, because effective communication is what's going to take you from the manager to a leader. And be it that you just need to get comfortable speaking to somebody in a one-to-one meeting, or standing here in front of your team, training them, or hosting a team meeting, makes the world of difference. Last year, I had this beautiful lady under Seaware. She owns a pharmacy in the Eastern Cape, and she said, Nikki, I've got 80 staff members. I've never hosted a staff meeting. I'm petrified standing in front of them. After the second session, she started hosting staff meetings. But the most beautiful thing she said to me is, I have got the confidence and I've fallen in love with my voice. I have stolen that line because it's gorgeous. But she has the confidence now to teach her team, to train her team to host staff meetings, because she's learned the skill of effective communication. Yet some of you are going, well, I'm fine. I'm quite confident. But how many of you waffle on, add lots of fluff to conversations? And in fact, you've got so much to say that you go off track all the time. It's like a washing machine spin cycle, spitting words out and not making any sense. A 45-minute meeting turns into a 2-hour meeting. So the importance of learning effective communication is to stay clear, concise, and to stick to an agenda. In fact, I share with you 5 different types of meetings you can host to give it that change, but most importantly, also embracing effective communication. So how could improved communication help you lead your team? This course that I want to share with you, it's not just going to teach you leadership. It's going to shift the way your team sees you, hears you, and more importantly, follows your lead. So touching on other common mistakes, I mean, I could go through all of them, but it will take hours. But the importance of how many of us don't actually know how to set goals, achieve our goals, or the purpose of a goal. Or we don't understand the difference between performance management and consequence management. So we're putting up with poor performance. Or we don't understand how to apply accountability in our team. I mean, accountability is a word that's thrown out all the time. But if we're not inspiring it, how do we get our team to work with us? Not openly communicating and building that trustworthy environment. There's a very big difference between a dictatorial, aggressive leader and one that just wants to be liked. Not understanding how to motivate our employees and not leading by example. How many of you can relate to some of these mistakes that you could learn to improve? So what keeps us managers stuck? Hiring under pressure. Quick, we need to get somebody. I mean, think about it. When somebody resigns, it's a month's notice or 2 weeks, sometimes immediate. And now we need to quickly get somebody new, hire them. They need to resign and train them. It's pressure. Low performing teams that are draining your energy. Overwhelmed because it's just easier to do it myself. Leading without a clear system. Fear of confrontation. I mean, I want my team to like me, so I'm just going to do it myself. Or how many of us struggle with fear of failure? Let me know. Are you feeling these? Are you feeling stuck? So if we look at this, a lot of us as managers are losing productivity, excellent team members, and time every single day because we're stuck in the same habits, going around like that hamster wheel. So can you afford to lose 3 more months making these same mistakes? So right here, you have a choice. You can take a chance and I can change your life, giving you more time, work, life, and balance. So with your permission, may I share more information of my powerful leadership transformation, my PLT 12 module course with you? Just let me know in the chat box. Sue says, sure. Yes, please. Yes. Fabulous. Thank you to all those yeses coming through. I appreciate you. So let me listen to my dog snoring over there. Very, very cute. All right. So my name is Nikki. And I help empower managers to become effective leaders so they can increase productivity and profitability, creating an environment with their team that they want to perform without working harder, only smarter. That is my absolute goal for you. So if I ask you, would 12 modules of clarity and structure help you feel in control? And if you saw yourself in some of today's session, it's not a mistake. It's actually clarity. And clarity leads to change. So I want to introduce you to Nadia, and I'm going to let her speak for herself. I do have my sound on. I'm hoping you can hear. Please go ahead and listen to what Nadia says.
Hi, I'm Nadia, and I won Nikki's Powerful Leadership Transformation course at a fundraiser. At the time when I started the course, I was not in a leadership position, but about 2 weeks in, I got retrenched from my previous position, and I was not sure where I was going next, and my self-confidence and belief in the work that I was doing or my ability to do my work was very low. Nikki's leadership course gave me the confidence, and the skills and the tools to believe in myself, and the courses helped me to speak to people, has changed the way that I think about myself, and it has helped me to shatter the limiting beliefs that I have about myself. I feel a lot more confident, and now that I am almost finding myself in a leadership position, I am super excited to apply the tools that I have learned so that I may be as inspiring as Nikki to the people that I work with. Nikki, I'd like to thank you so much for the support and all of the value that you have added to my life.
So incredible. It makes me smile and so proud every single time. She's now in a leadership role and she works for an American company overseeing a team. So again, this course is not something you go through alone. All you need to do is show up. That's the most important. Show up to the first module and you will want to keep going. Everyone I've worked with says to me it's their best 90 minutes they spend per week, and they're so excited to stay. So my Powerful Leadership Transformation, PLT 12, and what this course covers. Each session is a 90-minute jam-packed session. Session 1 starts with your big why. We set a 60-day habit challenge, looks like this, focusing on becoming an effective leader, what needs doing to turn into the effective leader, how do we transform our weaknesses into strengths. You will understand 7 primary responsibilities of being a manager and transforming into a leader, and most importantly, the 9 pieces of a management puzzle. Session number 2 comes into our goals, starting with our mindset, choosing our attitude, and what results we desire. Then what is the purpose of a goal, how to set a goal, how to help our team to set our goals, breaking it into bite-sized chunks so that we can achieve those goals as well. Session number 3, all about time mastery. Using the 80-20% principle, you learn how to apply the 4-1-1, which is 1 year, 1 month, 4 weeks, a great tool to use for yourself, and you can apply it with your team. You learn how to time block, shift your to-do list into a success list, and time-saving strategies. I will share this all with you. Session 4 and 5, we bring in the accountability process and we start breaking down managers' most common mistakes and the how to avoid them. From communicating and building a trustworthy environment to the dictatorial, aggressive management, criticism, and negative discipline, to how to motivate employees and preventing wanting to be liked, but wanting to be respected, as well as continuing here with poor hiring decisions, not managing conflict, delegation, and not leading by example. Because delegation and conflict is a lot of information, those get their own 90-minute jam-packed sessions. My course doesn't just teach you the what, it teaches you the how to apply it with simplified tools. You will also learn the difference between performance management and consequence management and how we transform people that they want to perform. Session number 6, like I said, this is a 2-hour training session on the DISC profile. By the end of this session, you will understand different personalities. You will be able to identify your own personality, your team's personality, and what's the best way to lead your team with understanding the DISC profile. Session number 7, effective delegation. So what the benefits of delegation are, essential criteria to delegation. We have reverse delegation and a 6-step tool to delegate. Session 8, conflict management for a win-win. Importantly here is understanding different personalities, because different personalities handle conflict differently. So how do we understand the personalities and how they handle conflict? Because there are dangers of ignoring conflict and sweeping it under the carpet. There are benefits of handling conflict. And again, a simplified 4-step process. I am all about working smarter and not harder. And yet, these are tools that have worked, adapted for the last 20 years that I've been using them, making a difference to myself and everyone I've trained. Session 9, how to lead with that limitless life. So anything that you feel is holding you back, how to let go of those so that you can be purposeful in your power. Getting a team that love to work with you, respect working with you, and you can help them grow to their best level as well. Session number 10, we learn all about management styles and powers, the difference between the autocratic and the participative management style. You'll learn some effective attributes to be a better leader, and also 7 different kinds of power, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that we can master our potential as a leader. Session number 11, how to conduct different meetings. I give you 5 different meeting options with an agenda, different icebreakers. So you get to know your team, but your team look forward to attending your meetings as well. And then I am very strong about team development, identifying the right people in your team for the growth. So you can grow your team. As most of you were internally promoted, let's continue to keep growing people around us, not hiring the nicest person, but the best person to get that job done. Session number 12 is all about inspiring accountability, living an accountable life. We have the 10 commitments of accountability. And how do we bring that in? Wrapping it all up with our key to leadership. So this is a 12-week or 12 module process. It will help you stop doubting your leadership and start owning your role as a confident, strategic team builder. I always say with anybody that works with me, I become a coach in your pocket, yet everybody that's gone through my program doesn't even need me because they've learned these skills that help them in their business. So money aside, I mean, if I say to you, I can help you grow from a manager into a leader, that's going to help you lead your team to achieve the common goal and increase productivity and profitability without working harder, only smarter. Who would want to work with me? I mean, if this was free, who would want to work with me? Let me know. The money aside, if this was free, who would want to work with me? I would love it. Me. Me. All right. Fabulous. Now, I would love to say it's for free. But this is my business. I've spent hundreds of thousands of rand and still continue to do so, where I'm learning, investing, consistently looking at how I can grow myself so I can help you as well. And it's not for free. And if I said to you, could I come and eat in your restaurant to those restaurant owners for free? Would you say yes? And the butchery, Max, can I ask you to send me a few kilograms of biltong for free? And Sue, can I ask your agents to list my house for free? Well, you see where we're going here. So again, go and have a look at what other people have said. Go and see what other people have said about my job. Oh, I see this is my old my old one that didn't change the new. There we go. My new Google reviews right there. So go and see what they've said. I want to tell you about this beautiful lady, Nonklankla. Nonklankla contacted me a year ago, and she said to me, Nikki, I'm investing in myself. I'm a paramedic for government in Durban, and I don't want to be a paramedic forever. The company doesn't know, but I've never been a leader. I want to grow into a leadership role. And I have to share this with you. She shared the most beautiful note to me about 2 months ago.
After I did the course, I got promoted from being an operational paramedic who was a shift worker to an acting sub-district manager. Imagine, Nick, sub-district manager. So I'm managing close to 90, if not 90, is 92 staff that I am managing. Yeah, I didn't think that I'll be able to do that, Nick. As you know me, as you know, when I was starting to do the course, I was also like a shy person. I can stand as a sub-district manager. And I'm looking forward to apply for the post when it being advertised. I'm not gonna be an acting SDM for so long. I'll end up being sub district manager because of your course, Nick. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Bye.
Isn't that just incredible? Oh, it makes my heart sing. This is
After
somebody that invested in herself. Another one, Mariska, she also decided she wanted to do a course, and she invested in herself, and she came and did the course. And within a couple of weeks, her boss came to her, director came to her and said, something's changed. And she said, well, I've invested in myself. I'm doing this leadership course. And they said, please give us the invoice you paid. We want to refund you. But listen to this.
Hi, Nikki. I just wanted to let you know how much my life has changed since I joined one of your courses. So just over a year ago, I took a leap of faith and I joined one of your courses. And it was about a month in, and one of the directors noticed a change in me, and so much that they offered to pay for the rest of my course, which was amazing, such a blessing I never saw coming. And then following the course, I just followed your advice, stayed in touch, still seeing you on a regular basis, and now being part of the leadership mindset. It's changed me so much. It has empowered me to work better with my team, to be a better leader. And on top of that, I just got to share this with you. I have just recently got promoted to director. So yay, super excited for the future. And thank you to you.
As incredible as that is, it's not thank you to me, it's thank you to her, because she took the same tools I share with everyone and put it into application. So I want to celebrate those ladies. This is not for everyone. This is for somebody that doesn't just want to come do a course, delegate and walk away. This is actually putting in the work. It's taking what you've learned and taking action. And you can keep doing what you're doing. You've got as far as you've got the way you're doing, or you can do better. You can keep going at your pace, or you can go faster. And ideally, what I'd love to say to you, I often say, if you're stuck, reach out to your boss. Ask them if they can contribute, not pay for you, contribute for what you're doing. Because most companies will. And if you're willing to invest in yourself, they would be willing to invest in you. So the Powerful Leadership Transformation, the PLT 12, I also want to let you know, I work with lots of action takers. I like people that think big, go big, ready to go. If you sign up in the next 24 hours, you'll get 12 weeks of Go Getters Business Mastermind. This is an accountability mastermind I run every single Tuesday morning for 30 minutes, and the value is 1,800 Rand. I work with incredible business owners, real estate agents, entrepreneurs, and we help and inspire each other as well. And this is one of your bonuses you'll receive. You will also get 3 months where you get to attend the Powerful Leadership Transformation Mastermind. This is where we have everyone who's attended our course. We meet twice per month and pushing our level of leadership to the next level. We also have bi-monthly Ask Me Anything coaching sessions. So you might be going through something, just go, I need to check in with Nikki. These sessions are valued at 1,997 Rand. You will receive a complimentary training session on handling challenging clients using a 6-step process called the BLAST principle. This is on demand, already recorded on a platform, as well as the art of negotiation and communication around negotiation. So sharing this with you, the Powerful Leadership Transformation and the value of everything I've just shared with you. So if you take up on those bonuses, all the different value, the Go Getters Business Mastermind, the 3 months Leadership Mastermind, bi-monthly coaching sessions, plus handling challenging clients, plus the art of negotiation. The course total price is 18,997. So total price is 26,000 for all these bonuses, plus the course of 26,788. That is the total price and the value of the price. However, because you're here, because you showed up, because you care, and because you want to take your leadership role to the next level, I am going to let you know bonuses are only available for the next 24 hours, but I have a special offer. Now, I've got 2 offers that I'm going to share with you. Some people love to work with me live, just like this masterclass, 90 minutes per week live. My next launch is on the 2nd of September, Tuesday afternoon from 3 to 4:30, or you can do the course at your own time. You will get immediate access. You jump on live and do it at your own time. So I have a Women's Day special for the live of 197 Rand. That's a 20% discount. I called it the Women's Month, but I am equally special with men and women. So that is, if you want to do the live training session, that is launching on Tuesday, the 2nd of September. It is a weekly session from 3 till 4:30. All the sessions are recorded, and you will then have access to live training working directly with myself for 90 minutes per week. Or you can have immediate access to the course and get it onto it right now. That price is 9,997 once off payment. With that, there we go. So you can either do the full course live, working with me, 12 weeks, 90 minutes per week. All the sessions are recorded. Plus you get a workbook for each session. And all the bonuses, the free mastermind, the accountability coaching, plus you will get a one-to-one business coaching session directly with myself. That total, like I said, 15,197. You use a coupon code Women's Month 25 for that 20% off, or immediate access to the course, 9,997. I've dropped the link in the chat box. You can click on that link directly and choose either the live or the online. I also wanted to share with you, if you choose either of those, live or online, my recruiting talent on demand course is normally 4,997, but I will give it to you if you choose the live or on demand of powerful leadership transformation, an additional 50% off for the recruiting talent at 2,497 Rand. I will share this all in an email, but bonuses fall away in 24 hours. Now, if you're sitting here going, I want to invest in myself, this is what I want to do, but I only get paid at the end of the month, it's mid-month, send me an email. I will ask you for 1,000 deposit and I will save those bonuses for you. I want you to have the best journey, best experience. So my name's Nikki, public speaker strategist, TEDx Cape Town, speaker coach, and a leadership extraordinaire. I love transforming managers into leaders so they can increase productivity, which will increase profitability without working harder, only smarter. If you're ready to dive into my powerful leadership transformation live or on demand, please go ahead, click on the link below. I would love to just launch a poll and see where your mind is at. So I've just launched a poll. I said there's still 18 people in the room. Thank you so much. Let me know, are you ready to take action? A, yes to the live launch on the 2nd of September. B, I want to do the on-demand. I'm ready to start. C, excited to do the 50% off recruitment talent too. Or D, I have a team. I want to discuss this with you. Let's chat. Or you first want to have a conversation with me, or thank you, I got everything I needed from this masterclass. Please go ahead. The poll has been launched. Click on the poll. Let me know, where are you? And what, if there are any questions, please feel free to either go ahead, drop it in the chat box, and let me know how I can serve you. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time. I will definitely work on all the different feedback I have now as well, but also get those emails out to you as soon as I can and share everything that we've shared today. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I see a few people want to chat to me first. Please go ahead. Let me know. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Make sure I've got your email address. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Are there any questions? Thank you much for the very informative presentation. Fabulous. I see a lot of people got what they needed from the masterclass. Fantastic. When the time is right, please do come to Neil. Lovely to see you again as well. Excellent. Let me know. Are there any questions? You have to go and teach. Enjoy golf. Thank you, Claire. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Shamima. Appreciate you too. Appreciate you all being here today with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box. I will be here for another couple of minutes. Otherwise, looking forward to working with you when you're ready to start working with me. Thank you to everyone. Bye. Nelly, certificate. You do get a certificate at the end of the course. Certificate of certificate of attendance at the end of the course. Not for this masterclass, but yes, for the end of the course, you do get a certificate of attendance, proof of that you've completed the course. There are assignments to achieve as well and do as well. Thank you, Katendi. Nice to see you. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you to everyone. Look forward to working with you when you are ready. Yay, somebody's in for the live course. Fabulous. I am ready to work with you as well. Excellent. Thank you so much to everyone again. Keeping this open, I will leave let me just drop the link here again. Any questions, please do feel free. I'm about to go into my voice coaching session now, so I'm going to have to go and do some vocal warm-ups quickly. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Nelly. Thank you to everyone. Awesome. Any questions, please reach out. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.